How many times has it come to pass that a revolution just didn't last?
So Sam, you guys have come a long way to play and be on tour in the United States. Life on tour is hard. There's days you love it, there's days you probably hate it.
Yeah.
Why keep doing it? What drives you to tour constantly?
Because I don't really have anything else in my life, so I grew up wanting to do this, and nothing has really changed from that, really. So I don't want to have a normal job. I will never let myself have a normal job, and yeah, I just love being on tour and being creative and being with friends and just having a good time, and you know, just not doing what you're supposed to do, working a fucking 9-to-5 shit job. I'm stoked I have this as a job.
Yeah.
I don't even want to call it a job, so I can't complain. I love it, and I want to play shows every day and keep busy.
To have a love for music and touring, it has to start at a young age.
Yeah.
Where did your love for music and singing begin?
Well, my love for music began from a very young age. My dad would always play music around the house, still does. But you know, I grew up with Beatles and Bee Gees and, you know, like real bands, you know, all around the house. So then I guess when I got to about 12, I heard Nirvana, and then I started hearing Blink-182, and then as soon as I heard Blink-182, I was like, damn, I want to play drums, I want to fucking be like Travis Barker. And then from then I just played drums in a bunch of bands, and then Architects lost their singer, so I joined, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Yeah. You spoke of your dad earlier. What do your parents do for an occupation?
My dad's retired now. My mum is a receptionist at a doctor's surgery. But they're both like the most supportive people, you know. Always come from a background where it's kind of like you work for what you get. I've never been given anything on a plate, but they've always been supportive and done everything they could to help me. And it's the same with the rest of the guys' family. They're all so supportive. Tom and Dan's mum is like Architect's mum. You know, she looks after all of us. So.
What'd your dad do before he retired?
My dad was a cop before he retired, and then he worked at an airport for a while before he gave up. But
so you got to have an interesting or unique story from childhood with your dad being a cop.
Not really.
Not really?
No, I always kind of shied away from it, really. I never really wanted to kind of, you know, I'm obviously proud of my dad. I love what he does, but, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of cops at the moment, you know.
I feel you.
You know, so it's kind of been like, I know he's a good dude, but that, I guess, kind of restores my faith a little bit in police, because I know that there is a good dude there, but, you know, how many cops is in, you know, one in like however many is a good dude. But you know.
I can agree with you there. Yeah, I can agree. I got a fear of cops too. When they pull behind me, I'm looking over my shoulder.
That's what it is.
Even if I'm doing nothing wrong.
Exactly.
I know in the United States and over in the UK, you guys have a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
Have you had any experiences with the homeless?
My experiences with the homeless are, you've got to not see them as a homeless person. You can't see people as bums or as anything. You can't ever know how somebody has got in that situation, so you need to treat them like a human being. And I see so many people that don't. So many people that walk past them and ignore them, and all they want to do is, most of them would like to just have to talk to someone, you know, instead of people walking past them. Every time I walk past a guy, I will give him money that I have in my pocket. I always will. Always have done, always will do, and I know it's the same for everyone I know.
Our magazine worked on Skid Row with the homeless, that's why I asked. Are you familiar with Skid Row in Los Angeles?
No.
Skid Row is a 10 by 10 block where there's 10,000 homeless people living. There's like 13 missions, a couple churches. It's a massive chaotic homeless thing.
Yeah.
And we lived there and did work with them and ran an art program. When I was working with the homeless there, I often found these people would claim Jesus as their Lord and Savior, but they're at the lowest point of their life, sleeping on the ground in a cardboard box. What is your perception of Jesus?
I'm not religious at all in any means. I'm actually an atheist. So I have no belief. I believe in, you know, there is right and wrongs, but I believe most people should know their right and wrongs anyway. I have no problem with Christianity or people that are Christians. I just don't live my life that way. I have a lot of good friends that are Christians, and you know, if you find comfort in that, then that's fine, but I'm very happy with kind of knowing how I feel about stuff, you know. But I would never push my opinions onto people, just as I wouldn't like people to push their opinions onto me.
Yeah, I think it's important to choose what you believe and respect all people's beliefs. Just like you said, to respect a homeless guy, to see him
exactly,
as a person.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, all I can say is that the people that are down there where they're struggling for food, if they find comfort in religion or whatever, if it makes them feel better, it makes them feel happier, then all the power to them.
You're playing music as a job, you love it. What advice do you have for kids who want to get into playing music now, with the industry the way it is and a new band every day?
Yeah, I think the main thing is just to play shows as much as you possibly can. That's it. That's the most important thing. The best way to show someone who you are and what you are as a band is to be in front of them. Not by a video, not by a Facebook. Being in front of them and them seeing you and connecting with you, that's the best way to do it.
I like that answer. That's a different answer. It's all about really being in front of the fans, even if it's one fan or 500
I'm talking
fans.
to them, taking your time to talk to them and getting them to understand what you're about, and not just seeing them as a fan, but seeing them as somebody that you think would like the music you create.
Sam, thank you so much.
No worries, thank you very much, man. Love it.
Underground of revolution.